Hi, and welcome to Rebellious Sacred Heart Podcast. My name is Christina, and today is October 28th, 2024. And as I'm doing this is a audio recording. Basically, I feel like it'll probably just be for myself because I am wanting to get more comfortable behind the microphone, get more comfortable in my skin, and just figure out who I am, what I want to do, and take it to the next level. I have these feelings and different things that are pulling at me. I want to speak more. I want to talk about the things that I'm feeling because I feel like other people can benefit from knowing that they're not alone. We're never alone. So many of us are going through a lot of similar challenges and thoughts about ourselves and about the world that we're living in right now. And basically, I just want to get it out. So I've been putting this off for quite a while now. I started this channel back in July of 2024, and I think I've done 4 or 5 audio podcasts, and I did do one video interview with beautiful Mary Electra, the tonal alchemist, and that was beautiful. But I have this problem with seeing myself on the video. I do this crazy thing where I smile way too much, or I smile so much that like it's distracting to me. And maybe it's not to anybody else, but I know I see myself differently and judge it and do all the things that we do when we are judging ourselves and talking negatively about ourselves or feeling negatively about ourselves when we shouldn't be doing that. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm still working on conquering so many fears. So there's a lot to go through. But anyways, I wanted to start today off by just reading from Everyday Spirit. It's a day book of wisdom, joy, and peace by Mary Davis. I got this earlier this year when I found it on Amazon, and I love the messages that are shared in these daily messages. And today's is called Light Always Wins. We are one with the light of each other. We are one with the light of God. When the earth turns away from the sun, we don't fear that the light has been extinguished. We know the sun is there. We can't see it, but we know it's there. In the same way that we can trust that the light of the soul cannot be extinguished. It's always there. It's always brilliant and always connected to the light of God and all other beings. We always have the potential to be light workers. Together, we are travelers on the road to awakening. Every day, we discover ways of connecting with and giving rise to our eternal soul. As we progress, we begin to see that we are much bigger than we thought we were, recognizing our divinity as an integral part of our being. This recognition of soul self is the awakening. This recognition of the soul self is the awakening. We see that we have the light of the divine within us. It is always there, even when our smaller selves are hard at work keeping the dark of night in place. We are waking up to this knowledge together. We know that we are eternal beings in infinite form. We know that we are made of the light and that this light is a common aspect of all beings. We know that we are one with the light of each other. We know that we are one with the light of God. Darkness is the absence of light. So the real work is to relentlessly shine the light of our love in all the dark places where it is needed. Eckhart Tolle says it in this way: You cannot fight against the ego and win, just as you cannot fight against darkness. The light of consciousness is all that is necessary. You are that light. So shine, and shine brightly. As we walk together in this global awakening, we will tip the scales toward a lasting good by the light of our spirit. We will stand strong in the light of love. Darkness doesn't stand a chance. So in the world today, recognize yourself as the light worker that you are. Use your presence, your joy, your calm, and your love today to brighten dark corners. And in your heart, remind yourself that you are a brilliant being of light. When we remember our eternal nature, we are able to turn darkness into light. And when I read that this morning, it made me feel really good because, first of all, we are all in this together and we are all connected by the light of who we are, because we are all energy, and that energy is automatically light. And then I just started to think about, it feels like we were born into the darkness. We come out of the womb. The womb is dark for 9 months, right? And then we come out into the light, but we don't see our light as we get older. We don't know our light as we get older. And it's like we're born with this veil, and it's our job, it's our purpose to find that light within. Find that light within and shine it. Let it shine. Be yourself. Be your unique self. Bring awareness to who you are. Bring awareness to the mind that you are the light, that we are the light, that each and every one of us is unique, and we each have something different to share. We have different things that interest us and that drive us, and that different things that we're passionate about, whether it's in the world or sharing truths about so many subjects. Like, we have so much at our fingertips. And sometimes for myself, I find that it's hard to stay focused. I have so many things that I'm interested in. I want to read. I want to learn. I'm especially interested in older books and mythology and theology, and reading the thoughts of authors from 100 years ago and 150 years ago. And I feel there's so much more insight in some of these books than we realized, I guess. And I want to do art. I am so drawn to art and colors and creating things. I just love to create. I love to create art. I've done resin art in the past, acrylic art. I've done all different kinds of painting. As a kid, I would draw all the time, and I'm a doodler. I doodle on everything. I make lists for everything. I love to write. I love my handwriting. I love putting things down on paper. I have so many freaking journals, like, of just notes and thoughts, and taking notes about books I read, taking notes about different videos I've watched. I've taken notes from Trump rallies just to pick out the numbers that he's saying and using, and looking for ways to interpret them and decode them. And I'm interested in astrology. I'm interested in the numerology, and I am drawn to Egyptian mythology, I guess is what you would call it. Egyptian history. I'm drawn to Thoth, and I don't know why. And honestly, based on the many, many books that I've read, regarding reincarnation and past lives. And I've also done a past life regression before. I feel that I know the reason because I've lived that experience at some point. And I'm very drawn to the Emerald Tablets in Atlantis. And yet I'm also drawn to the indigenous Native Americans and to Sedona and the lands and sacred lands. And I want to explore the world. I have so many places that I want to see and experience. I want to see the different cultures around the world in different countries. Like, how do I hone any one of those things in? Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind because I want to know it all. I want to learn it all, not know it all in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much information and experience out in this world that supersedes all of the current events and happenings in the world. Like, I know we have this big election coming up for the United States president, and I have an opinion on who is the better candidate. And obviously I already said his name, so you know who it is. But I also don't look at him or any one person or group. I definitely don't like the groups. I don't like the way they put things in boxes that you have to be Republican or Democrat or independent or this, that, or the other thing. It's all fucking bullshit to me. Like, and it goes back to what I was saying from this daily message here, that we are all connected. We are connected. We are made of energy. We are the light. We are the light of God and the Creator. And we all have that in common. It doesn't matter your race, your gender, your religion, like, none of that matters. We're all that essence of God. And I just find myself I rather know more truth about myself. I'm really trying to figure out who I am. At the end of the day, like, that's, to me, the most important thing that I can, or that I feel that I should be putting my efforts into, is knowing myself. Because in knowing myself, then I know God. And that helps me answer, or at least attempt to understand why we're here, what the purpose is. And I've come to realize, I mean, I already knew this anyways, but putting it in a different way, is that we're all on a different path. Like, we all came to this specific light in this time and space on Earth to live out something different than each other, but yet the same in the way that we're connected. Because I do believe that it should all be based around love. And first, that has to start with love for ourselves. And I think we've really gotten away from loving ourselves, because honestly, so I'm 55, I'm going to be 56 in a couple of weeks. And like, people didn't talk about loving themselves. And when someone did talk about loving themselves, they seemed arrogant or cocky. And I guess it's all in the way you put something as to whether it would come out that way or be perceived that way from other people. But like, my parents didn't love themselves. Shit, they barely loved each other. I didn't have that safe family structure that I was confident in knowing that they would always be there. I mean, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents because of their lack of foundation for me, I guess, and the lack of foundation and love for themselves and each other. They couldn't give me always what I felt I needed or what maybe others felt I needed. And while that might sound sad or I don't even know what you want to call it, but like, I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't feel that I am a victim in anything. I have definitely come to realize, I probably didn't always feel that way. But I don't know why, but I never really blamed my parents for anything. I'm just coming to a different understanding of, or a different perception of what they may have been dealing with, like trying to look at it from their perspectives. They were very young when they had me. My mom was 20 and my dad was 21 or 22, I think. And I don't know because, his birthday has been this kind of secret, which I don't really get why that is. But my mom says my mom knows his birthday, but like he never, I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, my parents were very different. My father especially, but anyways, I don't blame them for anything because I can now see as I look back that everything that happened in my childhood has shaped where I am today, and going through so many hardships in a way. I guess you would call them hardships, like they weren't normal. I lived with my grandparents for a year and a half when I was 8 and 9 years old, third into fourth grade, because my parents wanted to give me up for adoption at 8 years old. I don't know how you do that. I don't even know how you think that thought. As a parent, I don't resonate with that at all. Like I couldn't, but my situation when I was raising my children, it was very different than theirs. So of course I'm not going to understand what that feels like, right? But anyways, it's because of that and that time that I spent with my grandparents and maybe not feeling like I had stability that I'm now seeing that it did cause a pattern in me with my relationships, because I feel like I've been married twice now. My first husband for 18 years. We were together for almost 25 years altogether. But and my second husband, we've been together for 15, almost 16 years now. And but I feel like now that I'm looking back on it, that I was looking for stability in a relationship, feeling like I couldn't find that stability or a good foundation on my own. And I am coming to realize that that may have had a lot to do with the fact that there were many reasons that I would feel abandoned as a child. And so I guess I'm starting to understand that abandonment issue and stability issue and not believing in myself the way that I wish I would have a lot earlier in life. But now that I am an adult, older, been through a lot of life, raising kids, marriage, divorce. Now I have grandchildren that are just the light of my life. My children, of course, are the light of my life as well. And my stepchildren, I just feel like they're all my children. They're not steps. I don't really like that word, if I'm being honest. But it's helped me see that all that I've been through in my life, all the hard times. I lost a daughter when she was born. I had to bury a baby. So all of these things that have happened to me, that if you were to put it in a category of good or bad, negative or positive, they would obviously fall into the negative or the bad category. But as I look back on things now, it's another thing that I don't really agree with, putting things in a box or a category, or, separating good from bad, because even in those things that I would have always put in that negative category, things that I thought were not good that happened to me as a kid, and even into my adult life, obviously, the heartaches, the pain and the sorrow, the abandonment, it's caused all these fears within me. And I lost my sense of self a long time ago, even before my first marriage, and I didn't realize that then. I could see it more now, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for being able to have the time and take the time and want to take the time, being inspired to look at my past rather than compartmentalize it and shove it down somewhere where no one knew it, where it was. I didn't even know where it was. In fact, I'm remembering a lot of things that I put deep, deep, deep far away in the bottom of my pinky toe or something because I couldn't find it. Like, there's things that I'm remembering now that I'm like, oh, that's why. Maybe that's why I feel this way. My mom was heavy always when I was a child, and I was a skinny little thing. And both my parents were on the heavy side most of my life growing up. And my mom had a very, she had her own body shame, right? And so I grew up with that. And I took that on when I didn't need to. Like, now I see why I took that on and why I've had such body issues, and self-deprecation has just been insane in my life. In so many ways, just not my body, but my, what I felt was my intellect, or, I didn't feel like I was very smart. And even though I got straight A's pretty much all the way through grade school, had really good grades, well, maybe up until like 7th and 8th grade when I started losing interest in subject and gaining interest in boys, and having fun and playing sports and all that stuff. Art and sports and choir, those were my favorite subjects all throughout life. Grade school, high school, and even now. I love art. I love reading. I love learning. But in high school, like, I didn't give a shit about learning. The only classes that I took and enjoyed and showed up on time for and didn't make excuses for was gym, art, and choir. So, again, looking back on it now, it all makes sense. And so that's what I'm trying to focus on now, is art. Activity is just something. I'm a busybody. I always like to be doing stuff. I have twin granddaughters who are 6 years old, almost 7, and I'm always doing stuff with them. I'm the one swinging on the swings with them. I'm borrowing one of the girls' scooters so I can ride with the other one, and I'm out there and I'm rolling in the grass with them and doing all the things. And those things make me happy. It brings me so much joy. And I had a wonderful grandmother, like an amazing, amazing grandmother. And if I had not spent so much time with her and my grandfather, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I am very proud of that person. Like I love who I am now. I love myself. And there was no focus on loving yourself. Not that I saw. I didn't grow up with anybody talking about loving themselves, loving their job, loving what they were doing, loving really anything about life other than loving me. I mean, I did know I was loved. I always knew I was loved by my parents, no matter what. But I've always had this disposition of happiness. There's always been joy in my heart. And when my parents abandoned me, I guess. I don't even like to say that because it sounds horrible. And I don't judge my parents, and I don't want anyone else to. So don't, please. It's not yours to judge. But had they not done that, I wouldn't have experienced even more intense love that I received from my grandparents. And that is what fuels me. The love that I have in my heart, and it was always projected out into the world. Like I just love people. I love getting to know people. I've always been of the mindset that there is good in everyone. And I still feel that way. It's hard to keep that thought sometimes when you hear about the things that other people in this world are doing, but I don't know them, and it doesn't affect me. So I'm choosing not to focus on it. What I'm choosing to focus on is my light and how I can shine my light and share my stories, share my life experiences, and just the process, I guess, of my awakening to my authenticity, my uniqueness. And that always has been surrounded or engulfed in joy. I am easygoing. I'm like to have fun. I like to laugh. I love to laugh. Tell me a good joke. Nothing will offend me. I promise you. Not even I'm not even going to say it because, like, you can swear like a trucker because I do it too. I love the F-bomb. It just fucking fits in everything. Like, it's a defining, it's a great adjective, a great descriptor. It gives an exclamation to, I guess. It's probably not the right word that I'm looking for, but that's okay. I'm still learning how to speak. I trip over my words sometimes when I'm in thought. I have a hard time articulating sometimes what I'm thinking. But again, that's the reason for this podcast. It's part of my process. It's part of my growth, and the growth never ends. The learning never ends, and it never should. You know, I've been feeling stagnant, and I've been making excuses and putting off, procrastinating, doing all the things of not why I shouldn't do a podcast, but I've been putting it off. I've been putting off speaking, and I don't want to do that anymore, because by doing that, I feel like I'm blocking my true potential. And I know that it's based on a fear that I have, but I also am realizing, and I'm coming to understand, that the fears that I have came from somewhere else. They didn't come from me. I didn't create them, but I took them on based on my circumstances or situation or the people that were around me. And I just don't feel like I need to do that anymore, and I'm trying to step out of that. So thank you for joining me. my husband's pulling in the driveway, and I'm still working on trying to feel comfortable talking like this in front of him. So I am going to let you go for right now. And I I love me. I love you. I just want to spread more joy and more light into this world, because I do know that I am meant for so much more. I know that I have these things that I'm drawn to for a reason. I have things that I can share with others that can help. And that's really, I've always been drawn. I love helping people. People come to me, people I hardly know come to me with different things just so we can talk and I can give them perspective on things. And I do have a way of being someone's best cheerleader even when I don't know you, because I guess what I've always known deep down is that we are all of the same light, the same creator, the same God. It's up to us to find that light and to shine it. So today, I hope you shine your light and just be yourself. Don't try to change or be different. At least once you find that uniqueness about yourself, embrace it, because it's who you are and who you were meant to be. You weren't a mistake. Not one person, not one thing actually in this world is a mistake. You can try to put it in a category of good or bad, but it's all good. It's all for a reason. It's up to us to find the good and to focus on that good. Focus on that light. Focusing on the darkness doesn't help anybody. And it sure doesn't help us. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help me. So shine your light. I'm going to shine mine. And love yourself. Love yourself. Find that true love. That true love is right inside you. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.